Hello, hello, hello.
What a transition.
I know, that's cool. I love the
really
stinger
cool.
animations. I want to get more, or learn how to do like custom ones, because there's a whole world of designing those, and they have a sound effect too. So it's another thing we can make funny sound effects for. Although we can't hear them over on our end. But anyways, welcome. We're back for the last part of our animation series, part 8. I think this is almost like, what, probably close to 15 hours worth of content right here with this series.
Hope it's worth it.
Yeah. Hey, we'll have, it would be cool to edit these down. Hopefully soon we'll start uploading pieces of our previous streams that have been like cut down and sort of focused in on the content and cut out all the parts where we're just mindlessly rambling, which we do a lot of.
I was thinking a super cut of me just like making weird noises and flailing my arms would be fun.
Oh yeah, there's so much fun stuff we can do. We gotta start posting reels on our Instagram and whatnot. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Of all those funny moments in the stream. All the technical difficulties, that would be a good one too. Oh no, my video froze. Oh no, we lost audio.
Yeah, just like, a compilation of MARZ tech greatest hits.
Yep. Anyways, well, so what are we gonna be doing today, Corey?
We are gonna finish this sucker up. So, so we've been, over the last 10,000 streams, we've been working on putting this thing together. This is our diner scene with our 3D modeled characters. And we hit a point last time where Jay was making some tweaks to the way the video works, and it's pulled out of sync with the audio that we created a couple times before that. So we've re-imported the video over to my machine here, and I'm gonna tweak the audio sync. Right now when it plays back, everything is kind of shifted and behind. And as Jay pointed out, it's because we changed the timing of some things to make it make more sense in camera. And so I'm wondering, right before we started, Jay was attempting to explain to me where that change was made. I could just go and try and sync it up. But if I have more information about,
Oops.
you're right. Yeah. If I have more information about where the cut happened in his software, I can make a better choice. So, are you working on pulling that up? Is that what's happening?
Sort of. I was trying to push this over a little bit.
Okay.
Let's get a little bit more comfortable here.
Cool. So I don't know if it's worth it to show you how it's out of sync, but you can imagine what an out of sync video looks like.
Yeah. You guys saw me in the last part cutting out a piece of the between when our character sits on the booth and when he starts talking.
Maybe we can just see my video and you can point out where it is.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull up here. Let's see. I still wish one of these days we'll be able to show both. We'll be able to go to this view and show both of our screens here.
That'd be cool.
But right now with the ATEM, I unfortunately can't do that. But here we can actually look. Let's look real quick. I can see it right here. I'll change this over to the sequencer, or not the sequencer. Oh yeah, video sequencer. That's all right. I think I only cut it in one spot. I zoom out here.
Hey, there it is.
So we're at, I can look at the exact frame at the exact second. So it's 3 seconds and 7 frames. So I don't know how Ableton has it broken down.
Well, not by frames, but
right.
So you on audio timelines, you generally get minutes, seconds, milliseconds.
So I guess we have to do some math here. 7 frames of at 20. I think this was 24 frames per second. So the 7th frame, so every, how many milliseconds?
So it's 7 divided by 24 times 1,000, right? Is it
7 divided by 7th frame of 24. Yeah, I think that should work.
291 milliseconds? That sounds about right. It's about a third of a second.
Okay.
Right? 8 frames should be a third of a second, so.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, 333 milliseconds would be a third of a second. So awesome. So I can go here on my timeline and find that moment.
Sweet.
So here we are, 3. So I should say there is no real need to be this precise with this, but it's convenient. What I don't know and what I can't see is, oh, actually I can. how long your cut was.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I remember I was saying, your videos like.
Oh.
Well, wait. That would make your
videos-
video shorter, not longer. So for some reason, Jay's video that he exported was a slightly longer, but
713 frames. Yeah, I'm not sure why it was longer than.
yeah, that's weird, right? So okay, 713 divided by 24 times 1,000. Why I don't know why I did the times 1,000. So it should be like 29.7 seconds long. And I'm getting 29.685. Yeah, so
Okay.
whatever. That's a rounding error. So okay, what I gotta be smart about doing though, I was about to like show you and demonstrate, I'm gonna lop off this cut, but actually, you know what, it's not that simple for me. And it doesn't actually matter, because here's why. I can't, I have a whole grip of clips in here. There's a whole bunch, there's 1, 2, 3 layers of just background audio. There's 1, 2, 3 tracks of Foley. There's 2 tracks of dialogue. Oh, there's a whole other version of this video even dropped in here. Older render. And then, there's even more Foley. Yeah, there's 9 tracks of Foley. Anyways, so I have to shift all of my tracks. And so I could do this by just cutting it, but since I have control over everything, I think I'm gonna try and just take manual control. So I can inform my choices by what Jay did, but if I go and lop out a section of this audio and slide everything over, I have a song here. This pink thing up top is a tune. And if I just cut a random section of the tune out, it's gonna sound like I cut a random section of the tune out. Mm-hmm. So I need this to continue on just how it was. I might be able to I could do a thing delete time and then step back in, but I think I'm not really sure how much you cut out, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing that doesn't tell us. So we're just gonna kind of see. We can use that information to at least inform us of where the sync is gone. So I'm just gonna play this back. You'll see this is not nearly as smooth as what Jay is showing you, I don't think, or it shouldn't be. Because that's the old one.
Oh, yep.
Okay, mental note, which I will make verbal. Ableton plays the lowest video. If there are multiple video tracks, it chooses the bottom one in the timeline. So, okay, it's losing sync before he sits down, which makes sense, right? Right around there,
it should be that cushion.
3.
Oh, okay. So I guess I cut it. I cut it to match the sitting down. That's what it was. It was the sitting down noise. There's a moment in between there that we wanted it to the sitting noise to match up a little better. So it's actually not.
Are you playing sound right now?
Yes. Sorry.
Well, it's coming in all crazy.
Probably because I was scrubbing it.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
I guess I could tell you where he starts talking.
I can.
This first.
Hey, yeah, because then I can slide all. Well.
Yeah, then you can match up the dialogue with at least everything could just slide because there was only the one cut, so the dialogue's the main thing that matters, honestly. So you really only have to slide the dialogue, right? And they don't start talking until after.
Yeah, what is this track?
Oh,
that's just random noise.
Diner.
What is this?
Yeah,
thing?
that's fine. That can be.
Yeah, totally. I thought that was synced. Are these all just random noise? This is a problem with I haven't opened this sessions for weeks, or at least a month.
I mean, the only thing that needs to be synced is the dialogue and
what
the
even
sitting
is this
down and the
track?
footsteps. Just random.
I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever. I'm not sure what the intention is, though. It feels very random. But okay, yeah. So, what actually? I just need to identify what's important in the sound sync here. Oh yeah, these are all being DS. That's why they're all in sync. So we have footsteps up here in green. I'm gonna do a little organization. So we have footsteps. What's my character's name?
we gave him a name, and now I can't remember what it was. I think he's in the files. Yeah, it's Taurus, because he's got a Taurus for a head.
Right, and then yours was, I don't know. Rhombus?
Karen, it was like Karen. It says in here, Charon.
Okay, right, like Pluto's moon.
Oh, okay.
Charon. Okay, so we have these footsteps, and then this track here is what? Oh, that's the door. That's what it is. Door. Like, why do we have 2 tracks of footsteps? We don't. So these are Karen steps and the slide, and then this thing is sitting. Okay.
Yeah, good. There's a lesson in labeling your.
Yeah, we just I did these things crazy fast. So ambiance, and I think these blue ones are all ambiance of some kind. So Jay, you were gonna see if you can give me a timestamp of like where the dialogue begins.
Yeah, hold on. I had to run on to our YouTube studio here and change our name again. I don't know why Restream, the UI in OBS doesn't always update reliably. So just FYI for anybody using Restream. Anyways, so yeah, I can give you like an exact timestamp here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So let's see. That first. Do you want me to give you like where the waveform starts? If I get real close in here.
Yeah, can I see your screen?
Yeah, here, let me switch over. Turn that off. Transition back. Cool, okay. So the closest I can get are these 2 frames.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Yeah.
So you can see they're 7 seconds, 13 frames.
Cool. 13 frames. It's just a little over half a second in.
Yep. So like 500 or something.
Yeah. So where's cool. Sweet. That's super easy to find.
Okay.
So here is 7. You said 13 frames?
Yeah, 13 frames.
So it's a smidge over half a second in. So here you can see down at the bottom of the screen, this selection is 7 seconds, 559 milliseconds. That seems like pretty reasonable. There's no motion sync before or after the dialogue starts, right?
Nope.
Except for the newspaper.
Right? Yeah.
So, and that's this sound, I think?
That can be a little looser too. You probably match that one.
Yeah, but I, like if I'm just gonna slide these things all over the same.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I found the newspaper that's here. So this is all gonna slide over to right around that spot. And it's showing me in terms of beats instead of time right now. It says insert position. So I'm eyeballing it down on the timeline and down at the bottom. So here's what I have now.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that works.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Why no spare wire
Orange. What?
Does that feel weird? Like it looks like it's still a little late.
We should change that to be an actual like spitting sound. Yeah.
Sure. You want me to do it real quick?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
So we'll just do like the most, like the lo-fiest way we can do it.
I'll record it with your built-in. Yeah, do it.
Yeah. Sometimes this generates some unfortunate feedback, so I apologize to all my listeners if that happens. We're going to create a new audio track. Make sure it's capturing my input correctly. I gotta arm it. That's not it? Huh.
Is it gonna be mad with how you're routing your audio right now, or not?
It shouldn't be. Usually it's pretty cool about
Grabbing. There it is. Cool, that's pleasant.
Let me mute. Yeah.
No, I can turn. It's cool. I can turn my monitor.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
need a monitor
okay.
here. I'm
Okay.
just being a jerk. So
Why?
So that clip, how that thing is actually happening is you can see his MIDI notes being triggered.
Why? Ho era.
It's like the end of one of those clips.
No.
Right? So I can't actually really see very well where it is. But if I freeze this track, because I'm not making any changes to this anyways, and I can flatten it.
Oh, hey.
There it is.
Yeah.
So like whatever, like now I know where it is. Like I may make a recording and then I don't know. I don't need this to be MIDI though. Like we're good. We're happy with this.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I'm probably just gonna carry forward with this idea, and then I can just go. I don't know.
I like that third one there. Yeah. I think that
Okay.
fits his character pretty good.
I like feel like it's not very wet sounding, you know, but like that's okay. It's more like
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like he's mad. He's like, puh.
yeah.
Why?
Oh, the magic when the magic happens fast. So that's clipping like crazy. Look at that. It's like a military haircut.
That's a great sound effect.
We can use
Wait,
it.
neither of ours are like.
Well, you really, really hear the room. I'm sorry that you are hearing my voice in this room right now. He's got like a low voice though, so like.
Orange.
Era.
It's probably got lower than that even.
Orange.
Sounds more like a cough. I've said it many times in the stream, but just like it's just like you know what I know what I'm trying to do, and like it's fully expected that that's what it's gonna do, but like it still amuses me when sound and picture sync up.
Right. Yeah.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why? No. Era. Spe. Mora. Wire. Ho era.
Orange. I'd say banana.
So yeah, I do still feel like the dialogue is just a hair behind your animation, just a hair. So I'm gonna slide it back a bit more.
Okay.
I've been waiting for you.
It's like more noticeable over here.
Orange. I'd say banana.
I think I went too far. So where you see, I'm gonna split the difference between these two adjustments. It's like right there.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Yeah.
Why? No. Era. Spe. Mora. Wire. Ho era.
Orange. I'd say banana.
Ha. Ha ha ha. Ha.
Still amuses me. Okay, cool. That feels pretty good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think I'm golden on the dialogue sync. Again, we're just like I'm correcting for what Jay did.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. This is there's a back and forth here. You know, like if we didn't have the option of doing that back and forth, Jay wouldn't have made that cut. Also.
No, yeah, I would have matched it up. But I think a lot of times it's probably the Foley is done. I mean, we kind of started with the Foley just to kind of get a general idea, but I
Yeah.
feel like usually it's matched up to the finished animation.
Yeah, the workflow here has been a little funky.
Yeah.
You would definitely block things out, record the dialogue, animate to the dialogue, and then Foley it. I mean, although I think you could probably drop Foley in at any point, I would think, but you probably wouldn't get the Foley as one file like I sent it to you. And this is the difference of the workflow, that you'd probably like be assembling it somewhere, you know, or like you'd be getting dailies of the current. Do you know what I mean? Like
Right.
like that kind of thing, where it would like be updated and you'd get a new version periodically. Because I can think of a lot of reasons why a sound mixer wouldn't want to work inside a video editing or 3D animating program. Like, but you know, at some point you've got to get it, and you know, like I could give you multiple layers. Like it wouldn't be, you know, like your audio editing abilities in Blender are powerful enough that like if I gave you like the background ambience and the Foley and the dialogue, you could line it up.
Right.
You know, but like you wouldn't want to do anything deeper than that. I don't think. It seems to me, anyways.
Yeah.
So now my concern about aligning things is like the stuff before we start talking, or before our characters start talking. In particular, getting in the bench. That's the most complex motion that occurs in this whole thing. And so I want that to feel right. So let's watch it from the beginning here. And I'm trying to like keep this window small so it like plays smoothly. Sometimes blowing this up makes it play back worse, but we'll see. Here we go. There's something about those two footsteps. Like the first one, I feel like those second and third footsteps happen after he steps. Or, I'm sorry, before he steps. It's just slightly early or something. And I feel like I've got kind of a shuffly gait going here. I wonder if I can get this to just make more sense. If I slide these guys over. Yeah, do you see that?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, much better, much better. So like, if I solo this track, it probably sounds a little funky with that cut. Oh no, it goes... You kind of maybe hear a little bit of silence in there. But the decay of the room tone ends before that cut, so it's actually surprisingly natural. I was gonna say it's probably not a big deal either way because we have so much background noise covering it that cut is gonna be hidden. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, you know, it doesn't really matter what your picture looks like off camera, because you know, like, it doesn't really matter what sounds sound like that are gonna be masked, or it doesn't matter what silence sounds like if something's gonna be playing during it. I don't know. There's an analogy there. I'm too lazy to really make it. I think I have pandemic fatigue, Jay. Oh yeah, so like I feel like I'm happy with the first three. There's something off about the fourth one though. Like I think that one's early too. So I'm just gonna like inch this guy back a bit. You know, like you can really get granular with this. Oh yeah, I think I moved it too far. So you can like inch through here and find the moment when it hits the floor. It's right there. I can put my sample there. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, so like this last step is weird, right? Because like if you look at how he's moving, that doesn't make sense that his foot would make that sound, right?
Oh, you kind of like do a little bit more of a slide or something?
Like that.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't. He's kind of lifting that foot up to sit, so maybe there isn't a last step then.
Yeah, sorry, okay, so right,
Or
left,
he's
right, left.
Right, and then he like maybe he swings it up to like fall into the chair.
Yeah,
kind of
well, I
thing.
think the issue is that it just sounds too forceful. It's not his gait has changed, but these steps haven't. You know, there's a fifth step with the same gait. It's crazy how, like, this is such a nitpicky detail, but like it's totally breaking my immersion in our absurd duck scene here, you know, like, so what can we do about that? I'm trying to think like it's gonna sound like if I were to do that with my foot, it would feel like less forceful and maybe like a softer attack. So what can I do about this? I can go in and there's a few different things. Really what I kind of think I want to do is filter out some of the high frequencies, but it's a little annoying to do. So I'm gonna see if I can just fade it in. So I'm gonna turn it down like 2.5 or 3 dB, and then I'm gonna fade through the very beginning, so it feels soft. So here's just quieter, but then. So it's more of just like putting your foot down than like you feel a difference, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully that feels a bit better. I might have to move it now because like I've sort of delayed the onset of the sound, but like we were talking about in that game design thing in class yesterday, the attack envelope, the transient envelope of this thing.
Attack envelope. Is that a game?
Attack envelope, yeah. Like, oh my god, like some sort of like a modern like cross between Paperboy and like Dark Souls or something. I think that'd be kind of a cool concept. Some sort of hack and slash mail delivery game. Yeah, much better. It's like a soft resting of the foot rather than a confident step. Footsteps say so much about you, and like we like listen to people walk around all the time, and we just like you can tell what kind of shoes someone's wearing, what kind of room they're in, how they're feeling if you know them well enough, you know, like how big or small a person is, like how long their legs are, like how fast they're moving. So much information from footsteps. At one point, this was a life or death thing to be able to know, you know, like if you like, but now I just use it to make silly duck videos.
How we've evolved. Huh?
Yes. So I believe this is his sitting sound, which now starts just like way too late. You know, he's really sliding into the seat, like. Whoa. What's in the beginning of this clip? Oh yeah. So there's like kind of like a sound that like could be a proxy for him putting his hand on the thing here. You know, he like puts his hand on.
Yeah.
But it happens
like
pretty early.
like
He reaches straight forward. It's not like he goes pop and this. So I'm gonna actually nix that concept just right now because just watching his motion that doesn't make sense. Because yeah, he really gently like you see how like caresses that thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Which
like,
I'm adding a little bit more of a little bit.
about like a thump down onto it.
Just maybe.
I mean, it's not weird. Like it doesn't look weird, but it's just like not what I was like. Oh, I was thinking like, oh, a sound. He puts his hand on and then slides it over, but that's not what he's doing. So I'm not gonna make it sound like that, you know.
Oh, like a kind of
Like give it a little like just some sort of auditory moment of the sound, like a light sound of hand touching table. But I'm not gonna like let that be an event. Okay. So I feel like the sliding. I just gotta get this to start sliding when he starts sliding, and it's like. It's really this, you know, his hand on that thing is not going to make noise. It's really when his butt hits that seat. So, like, and I want it to, like, have a little lead up to it. This happens pretty quick, so. What about this? So it needs to start earlier than that. Right? Or maybe I need to. Actually, I feel like it's starting too early, right? Like it starts a little before he sits down.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
Don't like that. So I'm gonna actually shave off some of the beginning of this because I kind of like. Well, I actually don't like that stuff at the end. It's like too noisy. Let's like some like feet shuffling around maybe or something. I'm trying to imagine like what we could realistically call it. So I'm gonna like shave that off. And so I'm gonna like scoot this back. Really try and like. I'm gonna like trim the beginning of this clip, so and like get rid of my fade. So now this is actually, I can use this to align the frame. So like where's he like where does his butt hit the chair? Like there? Or is it like there? Like maybe it's like there. And then we can bring this back, and I'm gonna fade that in, so give it a little bit of a lead up. Much better, huh?
Yeah.
It's not like a big dramatic moment. He's just like sliding into a chair.
Yeah, I did kind of make him so he doesn't slide as much there at the end. He kind of more just like, you know, like once you sit down on one of those chairs, you kind of like shuffle. There's a lot of friction. Yeah, you sort of shuffle over.
Yeah, so this is like I'm imagining the tail of the sound is like him kind of like readjusting his foot.
Just like,
you know.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and like it can maybe be even like I think that ending is too loud, so I'm gonna just like take that and just straight up clip gain it down.
Oh, that looks so much better.
Let me bring it down here further.
Yeah, I'm also working in the background here to kind of just like add some polish to the animation. So I figure Cory's doing more interesting things here. So
I don't know about that. It's just
We're both polishing.
yeah. So I think I'm a little happier with this motion. Although that doom-ka-junk at the end is too much. I just want doom. Yeah. That's good enough for me. Because other things are about to happen. There's going to be, like, the dialogue begins, blah, blah, blah. So, also, it's all covered up with their stuff. So here's the first 5 seconds again. So there's some other weird, like, noises in the background there that I'm, like, not really sure, like, I think they're, like, taking away from my... It's not those sounds. I'm not sure what I was thinking with these. There's like footstep sounds in there that I feel like aren't working. I'm just going to delete that out.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
So yeah. We need to do the newspaper real bad. Let me find that clip again. Because I think we changed the timing of that as well. I think this is it here. Yeah, but like it's already out of frame before that happens, so that's not any good. So we can grab those clips and just like, I feel like I want to start hearing that as soon as you get a hint that he might be moving. So like this. Yeah. I think that's great. You know, like, this isn't such a like, he doesn't like actually manipulate it. Like, you know, if you held your newspaper perfectly still, that's not going to make a sound. But like, again, we're going for augmented realism.
Yeah, I might add a little bit more of a motion to it so it's not quite as smooth. That might be one of the things that I polish up here while we're going.
But I feel like this sound makes sense with what I'm seeing on the screen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So then what's this stuff over here? Oh, yeah, it's just like kind of like...
Whoops.
I'm going to like, this is like more paper manipulating, so I'm going to like, let this play like when the camera, like, I'm gonna let this be like a little bit of a camera perspective audio thing. Like the camera gets really close to the paper. And so you're gonna hear the sound of paper. It'll be pretty subtle. But I think it'll add a little something, something. Cool, so how's that playing? I want to unsolo that.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no era spe mora wire po era
Orange, Ihwad, I say, banana.
ha 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 ha.
Okay, what did I just see that bothered me? Something bothered me.
I've been
Oh yeah, this. I feel like it needs a little assistance on the EQ front. I'm gonna get rid of these default plugins I keep on here and chuck an EQ8. That stuff. I don't like it. Much better scooped out. Jay, that's a big room resonance at 800 hertz right there. Big, you like clearly visible spike here, right at 800.
Wow.
You see that?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's not an overtone. That's a room resonance.
It's a room.
That's a room resonance.
Huh.
So cool. So boom. Here's a moment. Here's what a notch filter is for.
Hey, look at that.
Gone. And that's what a notch filter is for, folks. Notches are really extreme. I've talked a little bit on here, and definitely more to people in person, about how, didn't remember my settings. About how the steeper these curves of these EQ filters are, the more audible the effect is in terms of how it's like messing with the rest of your sound too. So I don't think I've ever used a notch filter in a production that wasn't to create some sort of like effect. Sweeping the notch filter sounds pretty cool on synths, but that's not what we're doing right now. But its real use is to like, if there's like one problem frequency, and it's not like a problem area, but it's like a problem frequency, you can notch it out. So this actually cuts to minus infinity. So it's really like a pair of steep filters mushing together. Oh, still sounds roomy, but it doesn't, I don't hear like a G note popping out anymore. I want it to sound spittier, so maybe I'm gonna like boost some highs. All that stuff's awful. It's this spitty stuff up here that I want. And then, since all that stuff is so awful, I might like... That feels like it fits a bit better now, eh? Like, it's not, you know, because of the way I produce those two sounds are so different, like I think the odds, like it's definitely like not worth the effort to like try and make them sound not like that, you know, but I, you know, at least like it's not sticking out to me as being like, whoa, that's like sound came out of nowhere.
More. More. More.
So I can maybe make it sound a little more like it by rolling off some of the high frequencies. That like weirdness about that sound?
Yeah.
That's the clipping. You hear that kind of click? Oh no, oh, that's not it. Where is that? Is that this thing? Oh, okay.
Oh, it's still in there. The.
Yeah, I just had to layer it, you know. But it was doing something really weird at the end.
Orange. Orange.
I think this will help it sound more unified. But here's the nice thing about like having this as audio. Now I can do this like. I don't like that click there, but otherwise.
Orange. I see. Banana.
Okay. Is that all of our sync issues?
I think so.
The sitting. There's some stuff at the end. Let's just watch it real quick and see if we see anything that makes us feel weird, aside from the content of it.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no spare wire
Orange. I see. Banana.
ha 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 ha.
This feels pretty good. So I think like, you know, like after that, like I'm gonna leave you some credits sections here. So we gotta put, you know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely want credit for my creation. So even though the video drops there, I can let things play out, but I do have these like just kind of background noise things. that I'd probably like cut when things like went to black. You know, and then we just like keep the, you know what I mean? Did you feel that, Jay?
Do it one more time.
Inch. Quad. I see. Say. Banana.
Ha, 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 ha.
Kind of like that. There's like this noise layer that goes away. It's in the background. It's pretty subtle.
Yeah.
It's this thing.
I almost heard like keys or something too.
Oh yeah, there may be some other ambiance layer that is going along. Let me, because oh yeah, nope.
There's like a little jingle of keys there at the very end.
Wonder where that's coming from. Oh, you know what that is? I think it's an S from the song. Oh no, it's not. What track is that in? That's interesting. So this one? Yeah. So if we wanted to, you could even go so far as to do this, which is like bring back like a fuller version of the song there. And you kind of hear more of it. You get like a more full spectrum. So basically, like automated the EQ to like.
Oh
open
yeah,
up
there
all
at
the
the
way.
end.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like. You can hear down here.
That's nice.
Yeah, and so it's like it happens to the beat too. So it'll like open up over the course, and like right at the beginning of that next bar, it's wide open. Nice musical sound. That's a little late actually. Yeah, it looks like I like definitely band limited it at some point because it's not like, you know, the original sounds like this. You know, so at some point I committed to, like I resampled it, and in my resampling I committed to something like this. You can probably see exactly what I did. It's actually the same curve applied again. That's bad habit. I don't actually, you know what? No, I take it back. It sounded cool before, like without this additional EQ on the resample. Like it sounds cool. But that's even too present for
Background music.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like imagine you're sitting in a diner booth and like you're listening to a quietly playing radio on the other side of the room. You're not going to get the lows of the song that present in your ears. It's going to be tinny. Like that feels like it's playing right next to me. Whereas if I pop this EQ back on, it'll help a bit. It's still pretty present. And if we really wanted to go for mega realism, we could like get out a reverb and like change the dry wet parameter. Let's see if we can find like a room, like a tile room, right? So I mentioned this before on the stream, but like with reverb, like in the real world, and I know like y'all can hear a mix of my voice and my voice echoing and reverberating around the room. In the real world, the way this works is like the further away you are from me in the room, the louder the sound of my voice in the room is compared to the sound of my voice directly. So you can simulate this in software with a reverb really easily with the dry-wet control. This is just a blend from completely dry, direct sound to complete just room tone. And this is like exactly what you hear. Like if you're in a big enough space and you walk far enough away, I don't know if y'all have ever been in one of those like giant cathedrals that they have in places. I'm not sure where the nearest one to here is. I'm trying to think of like even what the one in Liverpool is the last. It's been a long time since I've been in a big cathedral. But like when they're sufficiently large, you can get like, you know, a football field away from someone, or practically, you know, like they're big, some of these big cathedrals, and like, you know, you get like hundreds of feet away from somebody. And when you're that far, unless they're screaming their head off, you're gonna hear way more of the reverberated tone than you are of their direct tone. And so like we just rarely get we're rarely in a room large enough to get far enough away that we lose the direct tone. And it never really happens completely. But it's all about the ratio, right? So as I set this thing to a preset called Tile Room because I want it to sound bad, right? You could maybe choose, there's no like kitchen or whatever. You know, I could try maybe like office, might be interesting too. Oh yeah, maybe this will be even better. I want something with a short decay time, so I'm not looking to make it go like.
Whoa.
That's not what I'm going for. It sounds, oh yeah, also, hey, if you want to make a nice sound, just play anything at all into a reverb with the decay time turned way up.
Oh. It's got a creepy vibe to it.
I just like love the sound of a good washy reverb. Okay, so we want like a short decay time. I'm gonna bring this preset back up. This thing was like 600 milliseconds. So here's what we had before. So to my ear, this feels really like playing right into my ears. But as I turn up this dry wet control, it's gonna like move away from me in a weird way. Right around there, I feel it really happening. And now it's doing something super weird, where it's like, if you're listening on headphones, you'll hear that it's like way wider. So I kind of like this idea. I'm gonna set this to like a subtle amount, and then I'll also let this be a thing that like goes away at some point, and that'll create some interest in moving from this section, or more contrast between. You know, like, you know how movies do this? They move from like, what they call diegetic sound, right, to non-diegetic sound, where like a song will be playing in the scene, and then it will like grow in intensity till now it's like soundtrack.
Oh. Huh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to think of a good example of this. What did I see last that did this, notably? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, huh.
Huge in that movie, or both of them. You know, like it's all about like the whole conceit of that is that they use like I don't know what the character's name is, but like they use his like obsession with like this mixtapes from the 70s as an excuse to
Finn
score
or something. Yeah.
As an huh?
I think his name's Finn.
Is it?
Something like that.
That's from Star Wars.
Oh no, yeah, that's the Star Wars dude.
What's his name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I will.
Oh yeah, Finn is a stormtrooper from Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyways, so like you know, there's so much where is it Quinn?
Oh, Quinn, that's it. Yeah, I knew it was close to that.
Okay.
It rhymes.
Yeah, Quinn and Finn. Anyways, so like he'll like there's all these scenes where he'll like put on headphones and like it'll be all filtered to sound like it's playing. It's like headphone bleed, you know. And then like as he's like going through the scene, like it'll like slowly like open up the EQ, and then it's like now it's like soundtrack music. Pay attention next time you watch something like that. Yeah. Usually audio is either one or the other. Am I saying that word right? Diegetic and non-diegetic?
I think so.
I think that's right.
Might have to.
Oh man, Mortimer said it right.
Okay.
It's one of those times when my students know more than I do. Anyways, I'm a music guy, not a film audio guy, really. But yeah, so usually sounds are one or the other. Like it's the soundtrack or it's like what's in the movie. But like you can blur those lines and like use audio processing to transition things from one to the other. So I'm sort of making an attempt to turn this audio from diegetic music into non-diegetic music. Or that's the idea here. So good. Okay, I'm feeling pretty close to good about this. Well, here, let's listen back, and then I want to talk about finalizing stuff, because I'm going to tell you what I don't know. But let's watch this real quick.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no ra spe mora wire po era
Orange, Ihwad, I say, banana.
ha 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 ha.
Cool. That works for me. Like, I'm not being taken out of the thing by audio that, aside from the audio that is really weird, the dialogue, none of those sounds felt like out of place to me. Like there was a sound that I'm like, what made that sound? And I didn't really see any on-screen action, and I was like, why didn't that make a sound? Those are like the two big ones, right? And so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I said I was gonna talk about finalizing. So when we're finalizing audio for music, we're generally just making it sound as good as we can. And then beyond that, we're maybe trying to make it sound like other music in a similar style so that when people put it in a playlist, it makes some sense. Or like when a DJ mixes into it from a different track, it makes some sense. Or whatever, you know. But with like video and stuff, there are actually some standards. There are, like, in terms of how loud we want to make our project, you know. We've talked about there's like levels of like peak levels and average levels, but then there's perceived loudness, like how loud we experience this thing as. And that is a number you can look at and know and make choices about. There are a few different ways to measure loudness. You can, like, most popular system is it's called LUFS, which I could not tell you what it stands for. But it's basically a psychoacoustically weighted model for determining how loud something feels to us as human beings with human being ears. There are other models, and they have their uses. But LUFS is one that gets used kind of mistakenly in music a lot. It was originally a broadcast standard mostly for television. And so like people will say that like streaming services will like adjust your track and will adjust playback based on the LUFS value of music. So like if you're using Spotify and you select the option that balances the volume, I forget what they call it in Spotify, it's different in every program, but they have a playback option that will turn songs up or down so you don't have to. So that like song, you know, I think it's on by default. So most.
Yeah.
I think most Spotify users. Here, I'll open the app and look for the setting actually while I'm talking about it. Oh, you can see my Spotify search history. This is always fun. See what I'm listening to. Yep. So a lot of PC music artists. So somewhere in the settings here, there's a normalized volume. I, as a music person, keep this off because I've mentioned this before. I think on this, I'm going to stop saying that because I keep saying that I've mentioned things before. I'm going to mention them again. If they're shooting for a loudness target and your song is too loud, they just turn it down. Your song might be a little less dynamic than other songs, but it's going to be fine. It's going to be your mix, but just turned down, just like you're turning down the stereo. If your song is too quiet and they turn it up, your song is going to exceed their peak levels or like exceed digital 0, and they're going to apply limiting to your track, and you don't know anything about their process, and it's probably not going to do your track favors. So generally, the rule of music is like you err on the side of a little louder than if you're not sure, like just the louder one probably is the smart thing to do. Yeah, so in with television and like film, the standards are more about like making it so people like making sure that like the loudness of the backgrounds and the dialogue is reasonable, but that also like that the dialogue is coming in at a consistent level. That's like the huge one, right? Like it's super miserable like when you're watching a movie, and we've all had this experience watching a movie at home where you're like turning it down and then turning it up for the quiet moments, because the mix is super dynamic, intending you to hear it in some loud theater, and you're watching it at home, like on a compressed stream or whatever. So it's a real drag, and so to avoid that, like the idea is you go through and you measure the loudness of your dialogue at different points. I'm not a video post guy, so like I don't know, like I'm not really sure like how they go about that.
It's
like
really difficult, honestly.
I can show you my metering tools that I have and how I would do it.
I think a lot of it to keep in mind is like where you're gonna be putting, like where, like Cory was talking about, like Spotify or whatever, like where you're gonna be uploading it to, because like YouTube has some standards, and
Netflix has its own standards.
Netflix has, yeah, it's all.
There's U.S. broadcast standards and European broadcast standards that are different.
Well, I feel like a lot of times people, you mix it to where it sound like everything's kind of level. It sounds good to you while you're listening to it, and then like that's like the last step.
Just like music.
Video, yeah, it's
just like music.
It can be a pain in the butt though. I've always struggled with like normalizing my audio.
Yeah. That's a big no-no word in music. We don't like to talk about normalizing.
Normalizing.
Well, because generally you don't want to do it.
Ah.
Normalizing is the audio process by which you turn up a file until the loudest sample is the maximum volume.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
usually, pretty much, like we're usually turning things down when we're producing music. We record stuff, then we turn it down, and then we squeeze its dynamic range and turn it back up.
Yeah. See, I always found myself turning things up. Like I recorded it with a camera, and like the volume wasn't, because all I'm worried about when I'm recording is not clipping.
Yes.
Like that's the biggest thing when I'm recording. It's just like not
and that's
getting
the same.
too hot of a signal. Yeah.
But then there's so much post like that like goes into like recorded music stuff by default that like we're all like music oriented folks are just like, oh yeah, like we don't even think about it, like we're just like EQ, compression, dynamics management, like reverb, blah, 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 like saturation, just chucking it all in because it's like that's just like what you do. Whereas like you can skip those steps in video, and people do. Like maybe it's like slap a low pass or a high pass filter on it and like normalize it, and that's all you do. Or like maybe there's some like generic compression settings that you apply, but like generally the video audio tools are just like way clunky and like not like from what I've seen of like the tools that you're using in your software, like it feels super clunky to me to try to actually do any like in-depth audio processes on those.
Right, it's all for the I only really need to do basic stuff. I mean, it's like fixing a room tone or removing some noise or whatever.
Oh yeah, noise reduction, that's another big one.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you guys like this is a meter that'll show us a few different things. This is Izotope Insight, which is a music-oriented meter, but it can give us some information about oh yeah, we can do intelligibility. Oh, that's interesting. I actually don't even know how much these things do. But we see here our loudness meters. So this thing's some LUFS meters, and we're getting 3 different values, which is what's cool about this tool. I said there's multiple ways to measure it. You can measure it over a short-term window. You can measure it over the entire length of the track, or you can measure it at an instantaneous moment. And we're seeing all 3 of these measurements here, which is kind of cool. So if I solo the dialogue, we can find out how loud our dialogue is. Oh, I assume that's what people are talking about when they talk about dialogue levels. So here we go.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no ra spe mora wire po era
Orange, Ihwad, I say banana.
ha 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 ha.
Cool. So you can see these meters doing their thing. Obviously, the couple of these meters are hold meters, right? The integrated meter is holding at its at some value. The momentary meter is holding it at a value too. So the momentary is like showing us the highest peak loss value that it ever hit. The integrated thing is like is just a running tally of like how loud it is. So we ended up with an integrated loudness of minus 20 dB. Do you know off the top of your head what any of these standards are, Jay?
I'm for YouTube, I believe it's like -10. It's pretty low.
That seems super high to me, actually. I have minus 23 in my head.
Oh, for LFU. Oh, is it gonna be any of the LUF value?
Hey, okay. Mix series guide to loudness for broadcast. So it's again, it totally depends what you're doing, but yeah, this is the LUFS value stuff.
Okay.
Hey, there is a law about this.
I'm pretty sure YouTube has has a page for it too if you wanted to see.
Yeah, they've got their own standards for sure. Oh, cute. Here's the old version of Insight. By the way, Izotope's UI used to look like it was supposed to be like military hardware or something. I'm like way more into like this like clean style now than this like it's all supposed to look like night vision or something.
Oh.
So. Minus 21, they say. This 21. Is a actual measured show. Dialogue from an actual show on the CW.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, I guess normalized full audio mix for YouTube is between -12 to -20. Your audio between this benchmarks will improve.
Wait, is that video. Overall audio? Is that like, that's not dialogue, that's audio?
Full audio mix.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy quiet. I usually shoot for music at -8. And really tightly produced loud pop music is like somewhere between -6 and -3 or 2.
Yeah.
It is, which sounds nuts to me. If you've ever tried to make something that loud, it is so hard to make something that loud. But like dubstep pushes those kinds of values all the time. Like hyper loudness focused music. Like, did I play you that thing that dude made a track that read out at 2 LUFS?
Huh.
Did I ever show you that?
I don't think so.
Oh man, it was really fascinating. It's like a quirk of how this stuff is measured, but he got his track to peak the entire time. Like it literally every sample of the entire song was peaking. I'll find you the link. It's very interesting. It surprisingly sounded like music. But yeah, he did some like sneaky tricks and like having some awareness of how LUFS is measured to like have something that never dropped below 0 loudness crazy. Ever.
Yeah, here it's saying dialogue for YouTube between -6 and -15.
Wow.
And then overall mix 12, 20 to 20, and then music, I'm assuming background music at -18 to 20, and then sound effects -14 to 20. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. Which is what I'm trying to do. You know, I've uploaded a ton of stuff to YouTube, and just like I'm always trying to figure out what the best way to do it. But it's sometimes, you know, it's a lot of just looking at the numbers and hoping that it sounds okay. And if not, then you can, if people complain, then you re-upload another version, I guess.
Yeah. This article is actually super interesting. They're talking about like the just challenges of like how you measure it and like how you know, like when you have different kinds of scenes, like a bunch of dialogue and then like an action scene, like what do you do? You know, apparently there's a lot to think about and a bunch of different specs for your different delivery. I know in audio land we tend to just like be like, well, we're like our version that we're making is the version, and like we tend to just like make one loud ass version that goes everywhere, you know.
Right.
If anyone's gonna make a second version, it's usually to deliver to vinyl. Which the physics of cutting stuff on vinyl means you have to mix for that medium. So that's a weird thing. But aside from that, we tend to not think too hard about it. I feel bad for these folks like delivering all these like TV shows to like streaming, a broadcast. must be so much work just like conforming to spec. And there's like laws about like no like I don't know. The federal government has never passed a law about how loud my song should be, but there are federal laws about how loud like commercial audio needs to be and stuff like that. So, anyways, so regardless, from what I'm reading, this dialogue is a smidge on the hot side, but is otherwise totally in spec.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no spare
You probably want to measure like the integrated loudness, right,
era
of this stuff.
Orange, Ikhwad, say banana.
ha 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 ha.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like minus 21, or like to minus 23 or something like that. So we're like, you're for broadcast audio or whatever. Like, if what did you say YouTube dialogue was? 14?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 14.
God, can't like. All right, let's see what we can do. That seems
Si-
so loud to me.
six to 20. Oh no, dialogue 6 to 15.
Minus 6.
Yeah, most YouTubers stick to around -12.
God. Okay. I'm gonna add 8 dB to this.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
So I'm approaching this by, I'm actually just cranking a limiter here to add this gain. Because like, I'm gonna have to hit a limiter and do a bunch of crazy dynamics management anyways if I crank the gain elsewhere, so I'm just doing it that way.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
So here we are, minus 12.
Why no spare wire po era
Orange, Ikhwad, say banana.
ha 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 ha.
So we were pretty happy with our mix before, so let's see if we still are. I feel like this is gonna be loud, but what do I know? Google says this is what I'm supposed to do. It's all relative, right?
I've been waiting for you for hours.
This should sound identical, except
Why no
I am hitting this
spare
limiter ever so slightly
wire
on a couple of these loud moments.
po era
Otherwise, there's like,
Orange, Ikhwad, say banana.
you can see it working right here,
ha ha
or not working. It's doing very little, which is great. That's what we'd hope. So I could have probably just cranked the gain everywhere across this thing, but it's just whatever. It is what it is. I think this is good, man. I feel like I could export this and send it back to you.
Okay, sweet.
So I'm just gonna give you a full minute of this, which so it includes our whole scene and then 30 seconds of outro. You can trim it if you want. You can do whatever you want. So I need to spit out a WAV file, right? Because we will hate our lives if we forget that. I'm going to dither, since this is not going to be audio again. We're probably bringing some things down from 24-bit to 16-bit. So dithering, I don't even really feel like explaining it because I don't really fully understand it. It basically adds noise to help mask the bit reduction, or bit depth reduction specifically. Did that make sense? I don't know. Didn't make sense to me either. Diner audio final. I feel like if you put the word final in your file name, I feel like that is you are condemning yourself to having to export another version later that is called final parentheses actual final. It's such a bad habit, but I'm doing it anyways. Okay, I'm gonna put this on a thumb drive and walk it over to you.
All right.
And then this should hopefully just flop right into Jay's session with no fuss. Sometimes things don't work the way you'd hope, so
Right. Oh yeah.
fingers crossed this is not one of those times. Cool. That was pretty fast.
Maybe that's why I was having problems with that. I didn't even check that.
Be right back.
Interesting.
Here's this.
Okay. Are you? Oh, I
Dropped it on the floor.
it's broken now. That was the.
Corrupted your data.
Okay.
Oh man, I had a thing I accidentally like. Maybe the worst thing about being a Mac user is that you can't unplug thumb drives or hard drives without ejecting them first. Like you can totally do that on Windows if like it's not writing to the drive, you can eject it. But like Mac will like access and mess with the drive just randomly. So like you have to.
Really?
Yeah, you have to like I don't really understand why. Like maybe it's like file system indexing or something like that. For some reason, like you can really jack up your files. And I accidentally unplugged my like backup drive
Oh no.
without ejecting it properly the other day, and I almost corrupted like not my like backup of my system, but like my archives.
It's a it's a good idea to always eject it.
Yeah, you should do it on Windows anyways. Every once in a while, I'll do something funny.
Yeah.
But I'd say like like 98% of the time, it's not a big deal. But that 2% of the time really is messed up. I do have a backup of my archives too, so like it wouldn't have been. Yeah, the real lesson here is like if you don't have 2 copies of your data is already gone. And you should probably have 3. Yeah, it just sucks to lose data. I'm actually ordering a hard drive tonight.
Oh.
Because I need to. I'm getting a bigger hard drive in my new computer, and I need a bigger backup drive.
I see. We're gonna hopefully have backup drives aplenty here
Oh my god, yeah.
once we get our server set up.
Totally. Oh, hi, Lily.
Hello, welcome. Okay, well there it is. Let's see if this destroys our ears on this side. Oh no, it's not. I didn't turn the computer's volume all the way up. Yeah. So I just like.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no era spare mora wire po era
Yeah,
Orange. What? I see.
Hard to animate without
ha 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 ha
without references.
Right? You did pretty good though. Like just like busting all those changes out really quick.
Yeah, so
It's
it's
super helpful.
Waiting for
just
you
a subtle,
for
movements
hours.
and stuff, and
Yeah, but
why no
like
era
that hand just
spare
coming and doing something like that.
mora wire po era
Huge in terms of realism.
Orange. What? I see.
so this was the last piece I was working on. Was just adding a little bit of motion to this character, and then I want to have him do his little laugh thing here at the end, and then it should be good. So I'm gonna what I've been doing is essentially just like I don't really need the audio for this necessarily, so I can I'll just mute this for you guys. But that's kind of nice that I can just control that, and that's the level of the of the stream audio. But what I've been doing is wherever I want some subtle changes, I'm just gonna key in these like pieces. So I just have it selected, hit I. So I like added some keyframes, and I wanted some for his head. I'll grab that. And I usually look from camera view, that way I can really see what's going on. So I'm gonna have him like maybe just rotate his head somewhat, and then same with his neck, and then just add some variation here.
Yeah. All the little detail stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we do a lot of this kind of big picture blocking out of ideas in music too. You know, like go back and just like add the little heightened touches of realism. Lily's asking, can we import multiple audio tracks into Blender? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's essentially a full timeline. You can, I mean, you can edit films full on. It's got multi-track features and stuff like that. So pretty versatile, really.
Neat.
I don't like that I'm gonna start this a little before the camera switches to him. That way I can. That way it's all it's moving before I just like he doesn't start moving right when I switch the camera. He's already kind of moving. And add some variety and then in here. There we go. his head turned the other way. It's nothing scientific here. Just
just something.
yeah.
Yeah. It looks like something out of like Oddworld or something all of a sudden.
Oh, when they start moving.
Well, like out of specifically that character, like it's remind me of that game. Lily, your comment about that program only accepting one wave reminds me of Ableton, which you can only import one movie file at a time. Which kind of makes more sense, right? Because like how do you play 2 movies at once? Which like it's a little different than you have to like make some choices about how you like them mixed together, whereas with audio you just play them at the same time. It's like it's kind of funny. But yeah, like getting these like Blender being so heavily focused on the visual feature set, it's like the audio feature set's a bit lacking, and like it tends to there's I don't know of any programs that really marry those 2 workflows in a hardcore way.
Yeah.
I think it's like ultimately
you have different applications for different uses.
Yeah, and it's really about like getting used to moving things from one program to the other.
Yeah,
and
getting that pipeline going.
Totally. Yeah, super important.
So I think this is the last thing. So
Whoa, yeah.
see.
Look at him go, dude. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, he stops moving. So I'll just animate this character's laugh real quick. So I think he laughs right when the camera switches. So like I said, again, I'm going to try to add some motion to it before so I'm just going to make a pose here. He's kind of like leaning into the seat. I didn't realize how far back he was. That's the only thing with working with just from the camera view. There's a lot of little things you might miss. So I'm just going to make a pose for him here. Select everything and scoot it back a little bit, and then maybe he's like, and then second laugh, he laughs like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
So funny. It's like the best joke.
Did some weird things with his neck. Get that fixed. There we go.
Best joke. Funniest joke. I keep forgetting that I have like a sideways scrolling wheel on my mouse. I'm like, oh yeah, side scrolling.
I'll have him do something with his arm here. I'm just gonna there we go.
Yeah. A lot of the time, exaggeration works best in animation, and also just like with sound for a picture in live action stuff too. Sometimes it's like we expect things to be super exaggerated. Like Jay was showing us, he was showing us like animation class, like this video about like just like principles of animation. And there was like the one about anticipation, where like making, like thinking about like if something's gonna move, like
preparing,
having it like lined up and then move, and like those things tend to be super exaggerated in animation, including like having inanimate objects do that. Like a cube, like a brick being like, and like totally, like things will stretch and squish, and it's that like hyper realism that makes it fun. Well, hyper realism is not the right word. It's that like unrealism.
Unrealism.
It's just like the weird physics defying strangeness of it all. Yes. Oh, so funny. It's a really good joke. Definitely deserves a good reaction.
He's got his arm doing something weird here. Let's see. These characters, they're like arm bones are just funky. This rig sometimes it's not the best, but it works. It's better if I just leave it. Yeah. Oh man, I think that's gonna do it. Okay, one more time with audio, and then I think we'll call it, and then I'll add some credits. So like credits and stuff, you know, you could do it in Blender with the text stuff, but it's so much easier to do in Resolve, and then I can put it all together and export it.
I mean,
so.
whatever. No pressure. I thought I'd give you some audio for it. If you want.
This. So I turn it on.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no ra spe mora wire po ra
Orange, Ihwad, I'd say banana.
ha ha ha
I guess there's a sound effect. It's not there, but it's okay.
ha
Over the table.
Him just like hitting the table. It's fine. I kind of added an extra thing. But like for this, I might.
Jay.
Oh man.
It's the final audio. Now I have to go and export another version. Final parentheses actual.
Actual final audio.
Dang it, Jay.
Whoops. I would not want to do that. I just want to make this faster.
ha 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 ha.
The nice thing about lip syncing this way too is like I can animate the character however I want, and the lip syncs is gonna stay in synced no matter how I move them around. So, because that's animating them based on the mesh instead of the actual like armature. So I don't have to deal with the keyframes on here, two separate things. So I thought it'd be good to have like a lot of people if they have a rig for the face, it will be all the same thing. So it's like a whole extra 20 something more bones to your armature that you have to keep track of. So
What a cryptic comment from a viewer who just came and went. Interesting.
huh.
Or I'm assuming they came and went and that Lily didn't just sign up. But I could be wrong. If not, so can you show me, like, I'm actually kind of like curious about getting a little slap of the table in there somehow. Can you play that for me again?
Yeah.
Just roll it.
Ha 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 ha
I might make it a little bit quicker.
ha ha.
Can I just give you a slap sound that you can drop in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we both playing at the same time?
Well, no, I was just like hearing my system audio while I was like.
Okay.
Well, do you hear how softly I did this?
So
I just like, and it comes out. It's wild. Microphones are like ears, and they also are not. That's a tough one to explain to people. Why are they like ears, and why are they not like ears?
The windows here still kind of are bugging me.
Okay. So I'm just going to pop this out for you as a single event.
Okay.
And can I just send this to you on Discord or something, or what's the best way to get it to you?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yeah. I probably won't edit this on stream, but once I have it edited, that will be in the final render, and we'll put that on our YouTube page.
Fun.
For everybody to watch.
Cool. Is this the end then?
I think so.
My goodness.
I think we pretty much are gonna wrap it up. Oh, I do want to try. I was trying to change this. Fix this window. I always struggled with windows for some reason. They're very difficult to create in 3D.
Boom. Sent to you.
Cool.
Yeah, make sure I gather that into my project as well. So when we go back, it will be there. Lily, I agree that editing is hard. But you got to do it. Maybe I should edit one of my, like, I made a bunch of beats on the stream that I like didn't go back and edit any of them. But I'm planning on doing some of those because some of them are actually going to get released. I'll leave you to guess which ones. So maybe coming back and being like, and just at least demonstrating that I also don't like doing that maybe would be interesting. I don't know. We can like, it's really hard to go back and judiciously edit things that you've done before. So I don't know. It's good exercise.
He's got a weird. I just want to fix this one last thing. His legs are all crazy. See, normally I would probably fix this stuff, but I'm not too worried about it. Some weird spinal thing going on here. There we go. Take a get some of the weirdness out. Copy that over. Did want to add some.
Lily, are you talking about like getting them to like go from one to another properly, or just like editing them just like together in a way that makes sense?
All right, I'll turn this off again.
Adding that motion blur.
Oh, actually I probably should do that. That's one other thing I didn't add is depth of field stuff, but I don't think I need it too much. Maybe I did when, no, I don't think it's on actually. But I can add some motion blur. I can turn that on.
Yeah, pacing and stuff of the video editing is a whole thing. Like, I mean, it depends what you're doing, of course, but it's like a whole. It's not. I mean, like how to cut it up and do it is pretty easy, I think. You know, but like how to make it work and make sense with your project is an art form for sure.
Yeah, matching cuts together is definitely can be challenging. Don't want to make it too jarring, you know. So
Right.
there's a lot of little steps involved. Why am I not getting my camera controls here? What's happening? Oh, it'd help if I wasn't in object or pose mode. There we go. Yeah, so depth of field is off. So now you can, that brings back in that, and we have a depth of field thing here, so we can tell it where to be. So we have to animate this, which we can do pretty easily. This should add some. This should be nice, actually. Maybe this is what we needed to do. Depth of field thing. There we go. Okay. Then you can actually like have it follow him, sort of. So we can just go through. Shouldn't. Hopefully it won't. Just gonna do this real quick. It's not probably not the best way to do this, but you can kind of fake that pull focus. You can go, you know, it's in between. Oh man. You definitely don't want to do that.
Ooh.
Grab and move back over here. Then on this shot, I'll grab it and move right there. Hopefully that doesn't mess up. So this little point right here is essentially telling the camera where it should focus on.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can move it. See, like right here, probably with this cut, since we're switching, I want to go to the very end of this one, make sure that's there, and then grab this one and I'll have it on the newspaper. And then it should transition over. This will hide some of our background issues too.
Super cool.
Now he's all blurry.
It's all right. It doesn't look that great anyways. Yes, all of it is sharp features. Crispy. Beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's so cool. Just a little bit of motion on that. It's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden it's like a real character.
Mm-hmm. One more thing, and then I think we can call it good. I moved his arm, so now I gotta... Or I moved his torso, I guess. So like this one, I wanna keep his arm down here. There we go. Cool. Oops. Something wrong there.
I would describe crispy looking as something that's like overly sharpened, or like, you know, like imagine like a photo with like the sharpness turned up too high, or like too much HDR or something like that. In audio, we use the word crispy might mean like has like high frequencies like that are like, it's like crisp is a good, crispy maybe not good. I don't know. It's all subjective. We just use food words and like smells to describe sounds, pretty much. And like the way things look. I don't know.
There you go. Might end up cutting out that last bit there, but that's fine. You can take everything and just scale it down and let it go to the end. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, seeing the word lasagna typed out just made me really hungry. Oh man, I'm ready for dinner.
Yeah, I won't keep you too much longer. Okay, cool. I think that's gonna do it. So,
Dude.
yeah, this will take a bit to render, so I'll have it up on the YouTube page in all its glory.
So good.
Cool.
Can we? Yeah.
I'll watch it one more time.
Yeah, I want to see it one more time.
Again. And then you'll see it again in its final state. Let's see here. I wanna just hide these. I gotta go back into preview mode. There we go. Oops, wrong button.
I've been waiting for you for hours.
Why no era spe mora wire po era
Orange, Ihwad, I say banana.
ha 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 ha.
There it is. All right. I think this is the end of this project.
Yes, we did it.
Now Corey's got to come up with what we're doing next.
We'll do something cool. I like Jay had an idea of like flipping this and like starting like doing some sort of song and animating something to that, rather, or like doing an animated video or something instead of like trying to score an animated scene. So that sounds kind of fun. Might be, like I was saying earlier, I might be editing some tracks that I've made because I have that to do anyways.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. If anyone has anything that they want to see us do, you should totally let us know. We're just super open to ideas. You can always DM us anywhere or just chat us right now.
I do like these multi-part series. I think
they're
it's kind of
fun.
cool. Plus, we get a lot of content for one kind of project, and we can,
Totally.
build up an audience around a certain project. But yeah, well, I think we've got a list going somewhere. I think
Yeah, we do.
of potential stream ideas. So
Definitely, I want to like master a song on the stream sometime. That's an idea that I have, just to show people what that mentality is about.
Okay.
But that would be a single stream idea. yeah, I don't know. All sorts of stuff to do.
Yeah.
We'll brainstorm. We'll figure it out.
Yep, as we do.
Yes.
Well, cool.
Well, we did it. Good job, Jay.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Pretty cool. Like I said, it'll be up on the YouTube with credits and the rest of the little sound effects and whatever else. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I guess we'll catch y'all next week.
Have a good weekend and a good week. Don't forget to do all the things on the internet for us or whatever, like and share or follow or I don't know.
It'd be awesome.
I forget what all the words are. Do those words though. They're good words.
Yep.
And we'll see you on the internet in the
Alrighty.
future.
Yep. Bye, guys.